Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is SAP Analytics Cloud learning series, and currently we are exploring the modeling concept in SAC. In my previous videos I already created the different types of public dimension tables. We already demoed like how you can create an account, organization and generic type of public dimensions, and how you can load data into it with the different ways. Today's video we will be focusing on like how you can create a analytic model from the scratch, how you can add the existing public dimension tables into the model, along with that how you can create the private dimensions in the model. We will be loading data into it, like when you add a public dimension tables into the model, how you can load the transaction data into it, how what should be the format of the transaction data, because there seems some confusion. Let me clear that confusion with this demo and tutorial. Along with that, we will load the data. Then I will show you how referential integrity works in SSE, like what is referential integrity in terms of data within SSE. Uh, let's continue with the demo. As you can see, I have already logged into the tenant. I will go to the modeler. Uh, the public dimension tables that we created are already there, like D company, D country and DGL account. Now today I will be creating a model. I will start with an empty model. Like if you have already like data ready, then you can continue with start with the data. But I want to create a schema of the model first, so I will go with the start with an empty model. So whenever you create a model in SSE, by default the planning capability is enabled. That is, by default it's a planning model. If you have to convert it to analytic model, just disabling the planning capabilities. Once you disable the planning capabilities, it's an analytic model where you cannot write down the data in SAC like how you do in planning. So now by default version and date is added. Now I will go to the date. I will check the granularity. When you create a model, by default the month granularity is set, but whatever data today I am loading and what scenario I am creating, I have a data at the year granularity. I will change the granularity. Then the fiscal year date range, it's okay, 25 to 26. I'm loading on that year data only. I'll just refresh this. Okay, so I changed the date granularity. Now I have to add some dimensions. I will add the existing public dimensions. D company, add. Then I will add the GL account also. GL account, add. Then I will add the existing public dimension, D country. So I added all the existing dimensions in my model. Now I want to create two more dimensions, but this I will be creating as a private dimensions because I don't have any more public dimensions. So this is department. This will be generic type. So department, generic, member ID and description. No other properties I will be creating. Then I will add one more, that is cost center. And this is also a generic type where I need only member ID and description. No hierarchy also I'm creating currently. So normal, department, cost center, these are my private dimensions which are this model specific only. Now I will be creating a measure because without a measure this model, you cannot save this model. This is amount in local currency, amount in local currency. Then unit type, I'm setting it as a currency. My currency is not fixed. I will be picking up from a dimension that is the D company organization dimension where I have maintained the currency property. So that's all. So when you add a public dimension tables in the model, they will inherit all the properties, all the hierarchies that are created in that public dimension in the model. So now I will try to save this model in the models folder. I will name this as analytical model public dimension scenario. Let's save this model. Uh, See, I'm creating, this is for demo purpose, so I'm not maintaining, the valid descriptions. But whenever you're working on any business scenario, it is very important that you maintain the, right descriptions for each of the dimension, morely business terminologies. So whenever if your users want to create any self-service report, based on any model, they are not you can say they are not very much aware with how you at the back end how technical objects are working. If you maintain a right business terminologies as a descriptions, it is easier for them to create story based on your model. So like whenever you're working on any business scenario, please try to maintain a valid descriptions for whatever measures or whatever dimension or any objects in SSE that you create. So now my model is created. Now I will try to load data into this model. I have created some sample data in Excel. This is the data I created. Like I have a date field, then I have a like a company, then GL, then location, then cost center ID, cost center description, department ID, department description, and amount in local currency. Now, if you look at the column B, C, and D, so whenever you create any master data in public dimension table where you maintain ID, description, and other properties, so when you are trying to load the transactional data in model, you have to just maintain IDs for that column. Like I know for company, there will be company ID, description, and other properties, but I already created a public dimension table, master data. So when I'm loading the transactional data, I will be only mapping the IDs with the relevant, you can say, data in that public dimension. Now with the cost center, I don't have any master data maintained in SAC in public dimension. This data I am only getting from this file. That's why I am loading IDs as well as the description against that cost center. If I would have created cost center public dimension also, where I maintained all the cost center and their relevant descriptions, then here also I would have only loaded the IDs, not the description. Similar applicable for the department. So whenever you create a public dimension table, to maintain all the master data, when you are loading the transactional data, it is only IDs that you will load into the transactional data. So now I'll go back to the SSE. I'll just create a import job. It will be a one-time, file upload. I'll select the source file. So this is my AM uploads file. My first rows are column headers. So meanwhile, I'll just open a D company. So it might happen that in D company, you might maintain the master data, all the master data of like 1,000 companies, but it might be the case like in your model, you will be uploading only some transactional data related to few companies only, not all companies. So that's why whenever you are loading the transactional data into any model, you will be only maintaining the IDs. Now click on the setup import. So now the data is loaded. I will just check some data types. So my date is selected as an integer. No, it's a date and time. So make sure when you are preparing the data, you check this. Okay, then company, it's integer. I will be setting up it as a number. Then with GL also number. Then location also string, and GL also I have to, sorry, set it as a string, because what public dimensions I created, they have a property as a text, not as number. Rest looks good. Now I can see error with the date dimension. Let's keep it as a string, then we'll see at the next mapping how it goes. Click next. Okay, version all to actual. When you create an analytic model, only one version is created, that is actual, public actual. Then all the data will be mapped to that version only. As you can see, D company is mapped to the company. Cost center is mapped to cost center. Then amount in local currency is mapped to amount in local currency. I will map this GL to GL account. Then date to date. Then country data to the location, and department to department. Then next, nothing is. So I don't see any dimension restrictions or any data quality issues. So now we can run the import. Finish. The data is loaded. Let's go to the model structure. So this is how my data looks like. Okay, so this is how you can load data into the analytic model. Nothing to be saved here. I will just create a story. Let's take a canvas only. Okay, I will add the models. Now I will just create a normal table here. Okay, then actual version, and I will add all the dimensions like company, GL account, country, cost center, date, and department, everything. Okay, so now you can see against. So whenever now, like these are the public dimensions that we created, starting with the D, you can say. Now, if suppose I click on the D company, I select the hierarchy. So whatever hierarchies I created in that public dimensions will be accessible for me. So I had created a one hierarchy like group view, so that is already added here. So if you click on a group view, then it will drill down that Asia specific or other whatever nodes we have. Suppose I'll remove this GL account, even the country, the cost center, and I'll keep only date like this. So, and then I can enable like display ID and description also. And if I want to show any properties also, then I click on the properties, I'll select okay, country, currency. So whatever properties hierarchy that you created for the public dimensions are accessible within that model. So this is how you can use, public dimensions in any uh, model. Uh, so this is how then you can, develop and build your stories within the model. Similarly, we will add, the GL account and we will see whatever hierarchy we created. I'll just move this in the. So we had created one PNL hierarchy and only four. I'll select all members. So now you can see the whole. I'll remove this date. So the PNL, the levels are added like revenue, direct cost, then other PNL nodes. And this is how it looks. Now our amount in local currency, because it is in, different currencies. So that's why it's not working. So this is how it looks. Mm, Now I will show you how referential integrity, works in terms of this public dimension table. Now I will just close this story. I will not save this. Now I will go to my public dimension table and company. So I'll just try to delete any master data. Suppose this one USA technology. I'll say delete selected member. Then I will try to save. So now you got an error that member 3000 cannot be deleted because there is a transactional data in the model AMPD scenario. So once you created any models on top of this public dimension, that means you are consuming this public dimensions in any one of your models. And in that models, if you have any transactional data, against that member ID, in the public dimension table, you won't be able to delete that data. So I cannot delete a single record in this public dimension, in the master data if there any transactional data in other models. Similarly, this is with the company. I have to discard this change. I won't be able to save that. Then I'll go to the D country. I will just try to, delete this Berlin row. Delete selected member. When I try to save, you will get the same error like member 1 cannot be deleted because there is a transaction data in the multiple models. Now this member ID 1 Berlin is consumed in two models. One is AMDE population and then there is AMPD scenario. So now this row is consumed in multiple models. So it will tell you in which models this member is used as a transactional data. So you cannot delete that master data. This is called as a referential integrity. That is, if that master data has a reference in any transactional data, you will not be able to delete that master data. And also, and if suppose now number 1 was Berlin, and if I change the description and any other properties of this member, that will be reflected in other models also. So if any master data, other properties, or any description is changed, it will be reflecting in all the models where that is consumed. So suppose I just change this description like New York 123 and save. Oh, because I have that deleted, so it is not working. I'll just close this and open again. I'll go to the country again, and again I'll try to change New York as a 123 and save. So whenever in my other models I will be creating story, then for the ID 136 it will show New York 123, not New York. So any like modifications, any new update you add to any public dimension member, that will be reflected in all the models where this public dimension is added or used. Okay, now I will close this. Now I will go to my model, and uh, I will delete this PD scenario model that I created. In this model we added the public dimensions as well as this private dimensions, department and cost center. uh, I'll go to models. If I delete this model, delete. So once you delete the model, the private dimensions that you created in that model are deleted along with that model, but the public dimensions, they will still be there in the tenant. So whenever you delete any model, public dimensions, there is a no change happening. They are not deleted, only the model is deleted, and whatever private dimensions that you created along with the model is deleted. So the private dimensions like department and cost center which we created in that model, those are deleted along with the model, not the public dimensions we created. Now I will go to the company again, and I will try to delete any member, delete selected member, save. So now this is saved because against that member, no any transactional data is referenced in any model, because we had loaded only data into one model which we also deleted. So this is how the referential integrity works within model and the public dimension tables. Uh, so here, like end to the modeling concept, how you can create, analytic model. In the next video, I will try to create a planning model. Public dimension table concept, private dimension concept remains same for the models. Like it might be planning or analytic. Referential integrity concept also applies, similar. With the planning, you enable the planning capabilities and how planning works in SAC. We will explore that. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like the content, please subscribe to my channel, and please explore the other playlist and watch other videos. And if you have any interesting business scenario, just comment it. I will try to make a demo on that video. Stay tuned. Thank you so much.